Is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, everybody. You can call us here at 737-7767 with any call you might have, question you might have. Caller on one. We only got one. That was easy.
Well,
that was easy.
Let's go ahead and go with it.
DT, how can we help you?
I was calling about this deer problem you got down there in West Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
And I believe if the WMA would get their license down and the TWRA would get the prices of the license down, they'd have more people wanting to get some license and go hunting. It sounds like to me like the Asian carp problem they've got. They want us to solve their problem. They've got to punch in and do something for themselves, and they will be able to help them.
Well, DT, on some of that now, I'm going to say you're borderline right on some. On one, though, the Asian carp thing, I think we got to realize that TWRA has done a whole lot. They just sent 1 million+ pounds of Asian carp out of the Tennessee River to a factory in Japan that is making all kind of food and stuff for animal, pet food, stuff like that. I believe. So Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is really working hard to get rid of that Asian carp thing. They are putting these huge speakers below the dam that they have found out that there's a certain frequency that the Asian carp cannot stand, will not come near it.
Yeah, because that's what they're trying to keep.
And they're
from
keeping
doing.
them from transporting.
Yeah, they
don't
want them to lock through. Is what it
they
is.
don't want them to lock through. They want to keep it confined, and that's what they're doing with CWD. The only thing about CWD, DT, that I would like to point out is that our herd is over 900,000. And our hunters, he's right now, our hunters have dwindled.
They have. The numbers have dropped and the license costs have gone up. We are a license-funded state,
That's
unfortunately. And we've talked about that before.
We don't get funds from anywhere
else. There are a lot
else.
of states that have wildlife taxes, green
That's
access fees, things like that, and we don't.
And we don't have that.
So we're funded through licensing. And just like in everyday life with my business, with y'all's, but cost goes up all the time. And so they are going to have to maybe try to come up with some different avenues in the future to make license more affordable for some folks,
or create a different revenue
stream. So,
yes.
And everybody will be upset if it ends up being a wildlife tax or something. But to be able to operate the TWRA or any DNR for that matter, you've got to have funds.
You've got to have the funds.
And so that's how we have them here now.
And there's not nearly enough officers and
there could be a lot more,
and all that on the payroll to take care of 900,000 plus deer that we have in this state. I mean, we are truly blessed.
What are they doing with the money that they charged everybody so much money for?
Well, that's the thing, DT. The licenses have gone up. You're exactly right. But here's the problem. The amount of people buying them has gone down.
Yeah.
It's because it's like this.
They priced themselves out of business.
Well, it's not necessarily true. We have just about lost, I would say, the 18-year-old and below license fees.
Lifetime licenses
we've just about lost
a lot.
The lifetime licenses, Brandon and I think that was a mistake. I mean, I understand the reason why.
I do too, and I tell people I got them for my kids. I jumped right on it.
You'd be foolish not to.
But yeah, I do think that that's going to have an effect on us more and more in the future. Yeah.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at it like that. But hey, we got a few more callers. We got to take.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, DT. And Billy, how can we help you? Billy? Hello?
Are you there, Billy?
Are you there, Billy?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can we help you?
Yes, I've got a wildlife question, I guess.
Okay.
I purchased a farm in Overton County, and I've got a pond on it. And in this pond, there are two very large.
There are two very large what?
Two very large snapping turtles.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have been told that they need to be removed because they're like a menace. They'll eat my fish, they'll kill my ducks. What do I do?
The best thing to do is, if you want to try to remove, is get somebody to trap them and remove them, put them somewhere else. They can be a menace, but I mean, most ponds are going to have snapping turtles in it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, if anything, you could have a trapper come in and remove them, put them somewhere else.
One bass will eat more than they will in a week.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. There's fish that eat other fish, and that's going to be one of your major problems. If you got any catfish in the place, they're going to eat more than that turtle will. But now, if it's menacing and it's so big that it's hurting the people around it or scaring people around it, then you can have it trapped and moved. Okay? Does that help you?
I think we're having bad reception.
We're having bad reception, Overton County, I reckon.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, though, very much. And Zach, how can we help you?
Hey man, I missed about the first 10 minutes of y'all's conversation on the show, and as far as CWD goes, what's the deal about carrying a deer across state lines to a different processor?
Okay. It can only be done if it has no bones, if it's been totally deboned, with a clean skull cap, and the hide has to be no meat on the hide.
Right.
Period. So if you get we'll say a 212-inch massive joker, and you take it to your favorite processor across state lines, you got to have everything stripped down off of it.
Yeah. Everything's got to be stripped down.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
The best thing to do there would be to take it to a taxidermist.
Yeah, I would. Zach, I would take it to my taxidermist first, and let them deal with it. All right, I don't know how to do it. All right.
Who's on 4, Taylor?
JD, how can we help you? JD?
Yeah.
How can we help you tonight, buddy?
I got a comment down here on the Tennessee River, New Johnsonville area.
Yeah.
Fishing is as poor as it's ever been. I've been fishing for 60-odd years, and it's just poor as I've ever seen. I know we got the carp. These plants is dumping everything out into the water and air too. If you got T-Deck, it's a do-nothing organization. You can call them, and they'll do nothing. I guarantee you. If you don't believe me, just call them.
Yep.
I think the water quality has got something to do with the sorry fishing down here. Somebody needs to get on that and try to fix it.
Well, I tell you what part of the problem is. You're talking about New Johnsonville area. There's not as much grass as there used to be. And the main reason is all the flooding that we had in the Tennessee River. They had those gates. Man, they were moving 400 plus acres per second of water. 400 plus acres a second was moving through the gates. When you have that kind of water moving, there's nothing, it's called scouring, but it actually rips the grass from its roots that are growing in the lake and actually pulls them out. And that's exactly what happened this spring with all the flooding and everything that we had, especially Savannah area and all down in there. They opened up those gates so fast and moving water so fast that it actually killed the grass. It pulled it from its roots. And I think that a lot of people are seeing that right now. But I did, however, check with Sam Lashley before I came here tonight. And Sam said he had a great day on Kentucky Lake, close to Paris Landing. He caught several big bass today, and he said all of his clients did too. Everybody had a great day today. So the fish are still there, but they're so scattered right now, trying to find cover.
Trying to find the right cover.
Trying to find the right cover to adhere to, and that's been the problem. And Asian carp is still a problem. I'm not going to lie to you about it. That's still a
And
problem.
I'll also agree with the fact that we have greatly polluted a lot of the water. So
gosh.
there is a lot that needs to be done there, but that's not I don't
But
think
I'm gonna
that's
tell you
really the
something.
problem
Percy
at that
Priest
place.
Lake. You go to Percy Priest Lake right now. It is trashed,
Mm-hmm.
and versus Kentucky
it's sad,
Lake.
really.
I mean,
What about the flesh-eating virus that the guy got into
I know.
kayaking on the Tennessee
Yeah.
River? Did you see
The what
that?
now?
I sure did, and that kind of links back to what you're saying too. The flesh-eating virus.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That the guy got in the
It's
Tennessee
chemicals.
River. It is.
it's chemicals. It's nothing more than chemicals.
So you are spot on with that. I agree
Yes.
100%. We've got to do more to protect our
And
water.
here's the scary fact, and then hardly anybody's looking at it except for one major agency, and that's the U.S. Water is looking at. This is where we get our drinking water from.
Yes. It eventually comes right back around to us, you know.
So,
That's what a lot of people don't think about that
be
when
careful.
they're trash. Yeah.
And check the water quality and get it cleaned up. You know,
That-
Amen.
They do nothing.
You're exactly right. That's where we get our drinking water from. One of these days, our tongues might just fall out of our mouth. You just never know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we can't keep these people from putting chemicals in the water, and it's got to be stopped.
It does. I do agree with that.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling.
Won't kill us all. I thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
You
You
too. And Susie, how can we help you tonight?
Yes, I was going to see if you were married.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I am. Who?
Yeah. Hugh's all messed up now. Ransom, how are you doing
Ransom.
tonight?
Hey, it's been years since I've hunted in Tennessee. When I moved back up here from Texas, I went up on McClure's Bend to hunt at my wife's grandmother's place. Signs posted and everything. We checked everything out, had our stands up, everything. The reason I quit hunting in Tennessee, opening morning, we were there, and there were so many vehicles already there, and there wasn't supposed to be but 5 people on the property.
Unfortunately,
I
that
waited
happens
until
a
it
lot.
got first light. I fired my gun in the air and started hollering at them. I said, "You better get your butts out of there." And I haven't hunted in Tennessee since.
Well, it's,
I was used to having 600 acres to hunt without a problem in East Texas. And then come up here and supposed to be 5 people on over 200 acres.
Yeah.
No, and people parked everywhere. Oh, you should have heard them cussing coming out of there.
I bet they were.
I bet so.
But that's not. Don't let that ruin your hunting in the state of Tennessee. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's finding a place to hunt anymore.
That's true.
now that's tough.
That's
I
tough.
agree with that 100%. And actually, what you're mentioning is a lot of the part of the reason why it is hard to find a place to hunt.
It is.
Because they get so much riffraff and people that aren't supposed to be there and trespassers. They just shut it off to everybody.
They do.
And but you know, it's not like that all the time. I mean, there's a lot of places that you won't deal with that, you know. And I hate to see it keep you from hunting here. But we have a lot of great hunting opportunities here that you can get involved in. But it is true that some bad apples can run it real fast.
Real quick.
And I've had it happen on places that we've hunted over the years. It happens, and it's very frustrating.
That's right. Well, hope that
I
helps you.
appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you
you,
for
sir.
calling.
All right, we had some great calls tonight. A lot of good calls.
A lot of good calls. Wait, that board just lit up.
They lit up, and that just wonderful. And we appreciate all those calls. We got to do our
This week's tip of the week.
This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. I'm gonna tell you something. Brandon and I both been using them, and they are lightweight, but boy, they feel good. Don't they?
Lightweight, strong. I mean,
Oh, sensitive.
they are.
No complaints in the complaint department. Just a great rod. Try one, get it in your hands. I promise you won't want to let it go.
No, they've been fantastic
they've been nice.
for us. I pretty much kind of set everything else down.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Started using those all the time.
But you got a tip for them?
Yeah, I got a little tip that's kind of time sensitive, so we'll get on it tonight. For over the next few weeks, I get obviously lots of questions and calls about food plots, things like that in the summer. Your local co-op right now, go in there right now and take them a couple of samples from your soil around the areas that you want to do your food plots. It's very inexpensive. It's about $8 or $10 a sample. Go around and pull 2 or 3 plugs from your field and send them off. It will save you 10 times that amount of money in seed and things like that if you'll get that sample done. Again, just simply go to co-op. They have kits. You can pick that kit up. Go out, dig your samples, turn them right back into co-op. They'll send everything off for you, and within just a week or so, you'll know what your soil reading is, know exactly how much lime fertilizer you need and what kind of seed you can use, and I promise you'll end up saving you money in the long run.
And that's what you got to have, is that pH balance.
It's all about that
It's
pH
all about
balance.
that, whether or not a seed grows well or not.
That's right.
So you got to check it out.
Guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have this week's recipe of the week for you.
Miss Anna's in the house.
Miss Anna's in the house, and we'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.